This is set number 8188. This is a Lego Power Miners set called Fire Blaster. This one is from the second wave of Power Miners, released in 2010. 67 pieces, 2 minifigures, ages 7 to 14, and retailed originally for $10. This is the smallest of that wave, which I believe only had 4 sets. And maybe 5. But still, very few amount of Power Miner sets in this second wave of... Well, not second wave, it's actually the second year, but maybe third wave of Power Miner sets. There are only 4 of them, I just checked. And, you know, price per piece, it seems okay for $10, but a little bit under. Although, you have to consider there's a couple new materials made, maybe some new stickers, something that has to somewhat balance the price. And maybe, you know, this is the only set that can really fit in a $10 range. So, let's take a closer look at it now. And here's what the instructions look like. You may notice, in difference to the model, these two, I guess, light pieces are put together separate ways than what's shown on the instructions. So on the instructions, you can see how it looks on the box art. We get some of the action going with this set. We show the 2 figures in the bottom corner. And yes, the rock monsters do count as figures, in a sense. And this is a pretty simple build. It's actually something you can build even nowadays. The same kind of pieces can be used. You can see it's got some pretty simple structure to it. It still holds together. No surprises. There are a couple stickers in this set, which we will get to. I think there's about 4 stickers. We get some of the larger tires. It's kind of like a buggy type vehicle. You know, something small that can run around caves in the lower part of the earth, because that's where this is taking place. Here are the other power monsters. The rock monsters that are shown in this series, 1 for each set, and I think it's 1 for each set. One of these might be a duplicate in one of the sets. Let me take another look. Yep, one of them is duplicated. I think one of these 2 guys, the red or the orange one. For this set, we get Combustix. I gotta remember that name. And all these names are based on Earth elements, or elements of Earth. You know, we have Inferno, we have Combustion, Fire, Erupt. You know, so these names particularly have to do with volcanic activity. In the earlier Power Miners series, they had to do more with certain elements in the Earth. And here is another one of the sets. It also shows an advertisement for The Adventures of Clutch Powers, the first Lego DVD movie, spring 2010. I was excited for that when that came out. It was an okay movie. We could do that another time if you'd like to see the review for that. So, let's get on to our set. We're going to first start off with our minifigures. So like I said before, we have first Combustix. This is the one of 4 different types of rock monsters that can be found in this point of Power Miners. Now, the idea of Power Miners in 2010 is they've reached so far into the Earth to try to extinguish these rock monsters. They found, well, it showed in one of the comics, they had a fight with the Crystal King, and in the results of the fight, it broke through ground, and they started going almost towards the center of the Earth. So, there's a look at him. Is very light yellow and translucent. His mouth does open up so you can fit stuff inside of him. The common thing to put in him is an energy crystal, and he usually eats it and, you know, can gain a little bit more power with the crystal. That's what happens with most of these. And, you know, if you've seen how they work with the Power Miners in 2009, I can't even imagine what 2010's rock monsters can do. They could probably cause some very hectic damage, since they're, you know, more extreme temperatures and farther into the Earth. You can fit them on both hands. You can even fit them on the side of their hands, like so. and other accessories can fit on their hands as well. So you can see that. You can also throw dynamite at him or other small pieces. And that's the only energy crystal you get in that set. So we'll take out, I believe his name is Rex. Although a lot of the power miners have their name as Rex. And that's something I see wrong with the series because, it's hard to identify them properly when they all have the same name. This is the flame retardant suit, or however it's called, flame proof maybe, of Rex. It has a very simple design to it. A lot of the other power miners in 2010 have this as well. Roughly all of them, actually, because it helps them to work better in the hot temperatures. You can also see on this printing a very chrome design that's printed on there, and even the chrome helmet. He also has his symbol shown that he can drill, and the symbol is not showed on the back, contrary to 2009 power miners. We got this unique helmet, similar to the Rock Raiders and power miners, but this is in a chrome color. It's actually very cool. This would go great with other figures. We also get this visor piece. Fun fact, this visor was originally used in Lego Town in a Racers series. I believe the name of the character was Wrench, who used this for his helmet, only it had an antenna on top of it. So in this one, they modified it and took off the antenna. You could see a little bit through that visor, even if you put it on him, but it's very, very dark in there. You can just see his eyes. And we do get double-sided faces. There's more of a scared expression, and it's the same one as 2009. So the faces have not changed, but the outfits have remained the same. The outfits have changed, but the faces remain the same. So, put him back into the Fire Blaster. He just sits right at the end of it, holding the controls in his hands, like so. Then you close this section down. Normally it would be used upright like this, but in this model it's used slightly differently. So I kind of like that newer idea for it. It provides better protection in the front, and it also has a place for these lights to sit. You can probably use these lights for as many times used for flick fire missiles. We got some big wheels here. You spin freely. You got a water tank in the back with some stickers. One here, one on the other side, one there for the gauge, and one for the vehicle number 12. This water tank has a unique piece to it that I like. And I also like this piece because it makes the effect of the tank work well. It's even nice to use for maybe other sets. You can even see on the sticker it shows how the water is in there. So you have this tube that goes around the back and connects to the front. And it is kind of a stationary feature that sprays water at the rock monsters. So if they get sprayed with it, they'll cool down and they'll become very weak, with or without energy crystals. And the main feature of the set, other than rolling it around, which it does very well, by the way, the thing interferes with the wheels. The other feature of the set is this launcher for dynamite. Now, like I said before, you could even just take the dynamite and put it into the rock monster's mouth and have him explode. But in some cases, power miners use the dynamite as a launching device. I know the Boulder Blaster is one vehicle that uses it. So we could set this up, try to hit the rock monster with the dynamite. Let's see if we get it right. I'll give it a try. Alright, we got him. First try. And I think it's a little bit close to the vehicle, though, when it considers, how big your hand is, hitting right next to the water tank, and just in general, trying to shoot it, you know, you don't want to have a projectile that close to the driver's cab. So it could have been extended out. Maybe just like this one could have been extended out and then put onto another piece like that. It would also make the vehicle look a little bit more even. And I also think, you know, this tube piece is really nice. It is probably a good choice for the time, but it's a little bit too long, and it could probably get in the way of other vehicles, probably get caught around in other things. It doesn't seem to have to be that long. Even if you think about it, as you know, as the water actually going through here, it would be very hard for it to get all the way up without some kind of propulsion. But putting aside physics, it works well with the set. So $10 for the set. I'm not sure how well it's going online. We'll just take a quick look at what kind of prices you could expect to see for the set. Here are some of the offers. $38.95, way out of range. $2. One person has $1.99 for this entire set, which is good. I mean, it's probably worth that value now, because you're not getting too many new features with this. It's just a quick way to get a new Power Miner set from 2010. It's actually the only one that I have from 2010. It was a good one at the time, but for right now, you know, it's not the best vehicle. $15, $11.99, $39.99, $9.99, $11.99, $30, $13.99 just for combustics, and $39.99, $10.50 just for combustics, $70 in a lot with a whole bunch of other Power Miner sets, $18 with this one, and yeah, just this one, $12.95 just for the minifigure. Now, if you really want the minifigure and you already have some of the other Power Miner sets, it's really easy to rebuild them. Except the only difference might be the torso because of that printing with a drill. But basically, this set's not worth getting even at a higher price. At $10, it's kind of doable, but it's also a little bit steep. Not just for the price per piece, but for what you're actually getting in the set. I don't really think it's the best vehicle for Power Miners in total. As a small vehicle, it's okay, but it's not really a good vehicle even at that. Because you get a little bit of features, but there's not too much actual play with it. You could spray water around like this, but you're not going to actually shoot it at something. Unless you took this, switched it out for the dynamite, and then you could shoot it. That would be a clever feature. But no, you just have it hooked up to the tank. So if you want, you could do that with your set. I'm not really sure if I can recommend this. I mean, if you want to get the Power Miner sets, fine. If you want to get all the figures and the rock monsters, that's totally fine. I just think there might be a little bit better sets out there than this one. It's not terrible, but it's not giving you a lot in it either. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time with more LEGO set reviews.